Next on DSTV, we've got a legend in his own lunchtime. You've heard of Mac the Knife? Well, this is Mick the Knife.
Hi.
Hiya, Mick.
How are you?
Mick and I go back years and years and years, don't we?
Many years, yes.
That must be
don't tell them how old we are.
Oh no, we're better. No. What was that show that used to be on television where the two blokes used to live together? What's
Engine Bracket? No.
Yeah, Walter Matthau, the Odd Couple.
The Odd Couple, yeah, the Odd Couple will do.
Anyway, listen, you are an international knife expert, and you have.
So they say, yes.
Well, because you've been doing knives for a long time.
Well, a long time.
So I thought Mick was the best person to come and tell us about a really good set of knives. So just explain what a good set of knives is all about, Mick.
A good set of knives, originally, when you think about it, it's got to do the job you want it to do. So if you want a sharp knife, you get a sharp knife. And if you can find a set of knives that not only do the job, but look good, this is the set. It's called the Imperial Collection, and to be honest with you, it'll be the best set you've ever bought in your life. But before I show you that, I've got something here you might like, you might not. It's called a spiral slicer.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it'll work, as you can see there, on a potato.
Yeah.
It'll work on a cucumber, but he's too mean to buy cucumbers. It'll work on a carrot as long as you parboil it.
Yeah.
And all you do is you wind it up like you wind up a clock. Right? Don't worry about your feet.
Like my ex-wife
Yeah,
used to do to me. I'm only joking. That's a joke, honestly.
She used to wind me up as well, mate. Don't worry. The thing you must remember with this one, it's not steel, it's not metal, it's plastic. It will not cut your fingers. So if you want to I know you want, we don't like children in the kitchen really, but if you want to let the kids play with this, safe. Don't worry. And you stretch it out, you wrap it around, you pin the two ends together. Now, if you can't do it the way I've done it there, get a little cocktail stick and stick it through there. But you should, if you've done it right, be able to loop one over the other. And to be honest with you, if you're doing a salad and you want your salad to look a little bit more attractive than normal, do this on your cucumbers, do this on your potatoes. Now, you might say, how can you keep a potato white? Well, you don't bother about that. What you do is you drop it straight into deep fry. You leave it in there for about 1.5 minutes. As long as the fat's hot enough, it'll come out crisp and golden brown, and it'll stay in that shape. All right?
Lovely.
But we'll tell you a bit more about that in a moment.
You're keeping me in suspense, aren't you?
Well, that's what I like to do. I like to keep you wound up, because to be honest with you, we've got what I consider one of the best set of knives that's ever been around. Yeah. There's knives of all shapes and sizes. There's scissors. There's a sharpening steel, which I'll talk about in a moment, but we'll start off with the smallest one of the lot, which is the speed peeler. Now, speed peelers are exactly what they say they are. They peel speedily. And again, similar to that first thing I showed you, your fingers are quite safe. You're not going to cut yourself. Your fingers aren't safe, and you can peel just about everything and anything by using the speed peeler. Brilliant. And that's the first thing I want to show you. Now, people say, how do you clean these sort of things? Don't worry about dishwashers. You don't need a dishwasher. Just swish them in a bowl of water and the job's done. Okay. Right? Now, after you peeled your vegetable, of course, we don't put it in the pan looking like that, do we? What we do is we get one of our knives out, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the smallest, build up to the biggest, right? Now, if you're cutting, slicing, some people like to do it like that.
That's quick,
but to be honest with you, if you like to chop vegetables like that, wait until you get the big knife out, because the big knife is the one that's better for chopping. But if you want to chop, this will chop. But to be honest with you, the big one has got slightly more weight on it, well, quite a lot more weight on it, and it's easy. If you're going to use this type of knife, which is a paring knife, a sliding action is the best action, because if you were just to lay that on the top there, unless you put pressure on it, which is why the bigger one is handy, nothing will happen. But if you just slide it, bring it across like that and just slide it, it'll go through nice and easy. Same thing if you're doing a potato. Don't matter what vegetable you're using. I'm not bothered peeling it just yet because it takes time. But to be honest with you, a sliding action like that is quite sufficient. If you're going to do something like an onion, first of all, we top and tail it. Now, the smaller the knife, the better for this job. If you're going to peel an onion, you don't want to be using something like that. That's far too big to peel an onion. If you're going to peel an onion and you want to peel it easily, to be honest with you, the smaller the knife, the easier the action. Now, they do say onions without tears. That we can't promise. You might cry, you might not cry. Some people say under the water with a crust of bread between your teeth. I've never really believed that. But to be honest with you, that is a fabulous little knife. Right, now we'll just get rid of a little bit of this. Well, no, I'll tell you what. Thank you, Mike. I'm used to having a bigger dustbin than this, so but that'll have to do. Now then, if you're going to slice again, you can use that size of knife. If you're slicing and chopping, it's big enough to do those small jobs. But as soon as you get on something larger, obviously you're going to need a larger knife. If you want to do these water lily shapes that we did down the front here, this, to my mind, is the ideal size knife. Because to be honest with you, if I take an orange or a lemon, or in the case of tomatoes there, melons, whatever you like, if you can draw the letter V, and even Mike learned how to draw the letter V when he was a young lad, didn't you? If you can draw the letter V around an orange, a lemon, a tomato, a kiwi fruit, whatever you want to pick, or if you want to do something larger, but I used a slightly larger knife on that. All you do is go all the way around, you finish where you start, pull the two portions apart, and that's how you do your little water lily shapes. So that one, I think, quite honestly, I think we've more or less explained that one. That's called a paring knife. That's the smallest one in the range, and it's a very, very handy knife indeed. If you want to do something slightly larger, the next size in the range, which is probably about an inch longer than that, will do for your larger vegetables. If you're going to, well, if I'm going to slice an orange, instead of doing it like that, cut the top off, cut the bottom off, cut the side down. Now you need a slightly larger knife to do this. It's no good trying this with a small knife. There we are, we've peeled an orange in now. Do you like oranges? You do, good boy. He didn't know he was going to be fed today, but he is. That's the slightly larger one for all your larger vegetables and fruit, and you'll find it very, very useful. Now, two small knives we've done. The next knife is the bread knife. Now, bread knives, well, to be honest with you, all they do is cut bread, or rolls, or cake. They're not going to cut vegetables. Don't try using a bread knife on veg. All right, enjoying that? Shut him up anyway. If you're going to cut bread, you need a good knife. Well, that is a bread knife that will last you for many, many years. Now, I'm going to mention about sharpening in just a moment, because we've got a sharpener there. That one is the only one in the range that you wouldn't bother sharpening, right? That is the one in the range that, quite honestly, will keep its edge virtually forever. So that's your bread knife. Again, made out of the same steel. It's a slightly heavier knife than the other ones. It's made out of the same steel, so it's going to last you equally as long. Now, the next knife in the range, this one is probably the one you're going to use more than any other one. It's got a nice long blade. It's nice and sharp, which I'm going to prove to you. In fact, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people say the best way to prove a knife is sharp, piece of paper. All right. And if a knife will do that, that's not a bad knife. That knife is sharp when you buy it. It'll stay sharp for a long, long time. I'm not going to say forever, because I don't tell lies. In fact, as I said, I'll explain in a moment about the sharpening steel, but it will keep its edge for a long, long time. Now, if you want to use that one, and this is where Mike's eyes will start to drool, this one can be used as a carving knife. It can also be used as a chef's knife. I'm going to use it as a carving knife first. Now that will glide through there like a surgeon's scalpel. That knife on any type of meat, whether it's ham, lamb, spam, chicken, turkey, hot meats, cold meats, cooked meats or raw meats, that knife, I tell you what, will be the best carving knife you've ever used. And if you're going to use it as a carving knife, you're going to find... I knew you'd... Oh, sorry, I thought you were helping yourself there, Mick. If you're going to use it as a carving knife, you are helping yourself. You will find it one of the best carving knives you've ever used in your life. But of course, you're not going to use it just as a carving knife. It'll cut all meats, it'll cut your hot meats, cold meats, cooked meats and raw meats. But probably the hardest thing to cut is a Dutch cabbage. Now, they're not loose-leafed, they're very, very solid. And if you're going to use this knife to cut through cabbages, to cut through Swedes, to cut through turnips, you need to put a little bit extra weight with that one, but to be honest with you, that'll glide through there like nobody's business. And if you want to chop things, because it's got a nice thick blade, unlike these, thin blade. You wouldn't try and chop with that because your hands get in the way. That's too narrow to chop. If you're going to use it as a chopping knife, well, you won't get many better knives than that. Because you've got the weight on the blade, the weight of the blade will enable you to chop your way through there.
Jump on the phone now, make the call for this knife set. It's absolutely superb. The price is on the screen, the number's on the screen, 0800 689 1679, or go onto our website. A fabulous price, it's a fabulous product, it's guaranteed as well. And remember, you are going to get the full set with the stand as well. And you're going to see some more amazing demonstrations from Mick the Knife. Mick the Knife.
Bless you.
Go on, Mick. Clear out this.
Do you want me to sing it or not?
I'll tell you, a fabulous knife set this, it really is.
Right, well, we've shown you the cabbage. And
by the way, there's only 2 people ever shut me up, you know. That's your son, Steve, because you know Steve, he does the magic pens and he does the Washmatic, and you.
Well, we've had
I kept quiet, you've had practice.
Well, don't forget, we're both married and we know how to shut people up. Right. I'm just clearing this out of the way. You want to see the mess? I'm just clearing this out of the way. Now, I've shown this being used as a carving knife, and you saw it being used as a brilliant carving knife. You saw me cut that large cabbage up. Remember, these herbs, I did buy them yesterday, but they've gone off a bit quick. Remember, it is a chopping knife as well. Yeah. So you can use it as a, that's what makes it such a useful knife, because if you buy it as a carving knife, it'll give, that's nice, isn't it?
Smells gorgeous, that
bit of mint on that. Yeah, I'll put a bit of bay in for you. No, what's this? Basil. Basil was the other one. A bit of basil.
Basil!
Yeah. Shut up, Sybil. If you use this just as a carving knife, you're going to get good use out of it. But if you use it as a chopping knife as well, it won't matter. It won't harm it by changing it from one job to another. But to be honest, that is a terrific knife. And remember, once again, if we go over to a slightly bigger item, right? Now, whatever that will do, this will do heavier things completely. Now, if I was to use that knife I've just used on a piece of bone, there is a possibility that if you've got enough strength, that it will cut through a piece of bone. Right? Yeah. But to make it easier on yourself, don't use that one, don't use that one, don't use that one, use that one.
Whoa.
Right? Now that one will enable you to cut through anything that's large. But of course, if you want to use again that one, even as a chopping knife, I mean, I'll get a little bit more here, I haven't got very much. If you want to use it as a chopping knife, that will also do the delicate chopping as well. But to be honest with you, stick to that one, that's the best one for chopping. But if you want something strong, that one.
Yeah, I mean, you're not only seeing these knives there, but you're actually learning things as well, because I didn't even, you know, you wouldn't think of that. You think, why would you want so many different knives? But you can see now. You
don't need a shed full of knives.
No, you don't, that's right.
You do need enough knives to do all the jobs. And the reason we give you this display stand is to, if you put that knife, all in a cupboard, all in a drawer, like I know a lot of you do, right? You put it in a drawer, you reach for it. There's 2 things you got to remember. Kiddies reach for it, they're going to cut themselves. You might cut yourself as well. Yeah. But we give you a stand that, to be honest with you,
beautiful, isn't it?
It's a lovely looking stand.
It's like me, it's slim, it's sexy, it's...
Yeah. Someone's been kidding you.
Go on then.
So we give you a stand because we don't want you putting them in a knife drawer. Knife drawers are dangerous.
And all Mick's doing here, by the way, is just rinsing it in a bowl of water.
Yeah, I've got a bucket of water down here.
Mick, I'm just going to ask you a question. Yeah. You've got all these... What's all this wood? I mean, how good are these knives? How good are these knives?
The thing is, I'm going to do something now that I've not done for many, many years. Right. I am going to try to take the edge off one of these knives. Right. Now, if I take the edge off, it won't matter because we have a sharpening steel. I'll show you how to sharpen them in a moment, because there's a right way and a wrong way. Well, there's probably about 3 right ways and about 3,000 wrong ways of sharpening a knife. But to be honest, if you can treat a knife like I treat this one, right? And if I damage the table, I'll be in trouble. But listen, if I can't take the edge off that knife by bashing on a piece of... how are you going to take the edge off at home? All you're going to be doing is cutting meat. You're going to be cutting vegetables. You're going to be chopping things. With the bread knife, you're going to be cutting bread. You're not going to be doing things like that.
No, you definitely not.
And if that knife, listen, if that knife is still sharp after doing that... That's
what you call a cracking knife.
Right.
And this is what you're getting here, folks. You're getting quality. It's not just, look at that. It's not just a knife for using for food. This is quality. I know you're not going to do this at home.
Well, you can have fun doing that if you
yeah,
want.
I know, but we're just trying to show you how good the knife is.
By the way, that last little bit, don't let the kids lose
don't
the
let
piece
them,
of wood and that lot.
Absolutely.
But let's just imagine that by doing that, I have blunted it.
Yes.
I think I've done enough really to prove that if that knife is still sharp after doing that, it's a good knife. If you do blunt it, don't worry, we've got a sharpening steel.
Right.
The sharpening steel will sharpen that one, that one, that one, and this one. It doesn't do serrated knives because that will stay sharp virtually forever.
Yeah.
Right? Serrated edge knives do not need sharpening, okay? If it eventually gives up the ghost, when you're a pensioner, if you're a young person now, well, just treat yourself to a new one. Now then, sharpening.
There's a technique to this, isn't there, mate?
There is a technique. You want to get an angle of roughly 25 degrees.
Right.
I'm doing it slowly. I'm not doing it properly. I'm just doing it slowly to give you that. Now, if you go in too deep, you're going to damage the knife. If you go in too narrow, you do nothing. You may as well just sit there all day fiddling, right? But if you get it at the right angle, you can go that way. If you prefer, you can go that way. Now, I never go that way because if you do get a bit excited, or if you've got a glass of scotch down by the side of you, you might just go a little bit too far. So please always do it that way.
That's right,
if you don't want to do it up in the air, put that on the table and do it that way.
So it's simple.
Keep the angle about 25 degrees. It's a rough angle, right? If you do go in too deep and you do damage it a bit, you'll have to sharpen it a bit more to take the little burr off that you've done. Now, some people are quite happy doing it that way.
Yeah.
And then turning it over and doing it that way. As long as you get the angle right, it doesn't matter how you do it.
So it's easy to use.
It is easy to use, right? And that'll keep all your knives sharp. As I say, some of them will probably not need sharpening even forever. That's not a guarantee that they'll never need sharpening, but that one is so tough.
If you just join us...
Look how thick it is.
Yeah, I know. If you just join us, we're just showing you this fantastic set of knives. Mick has shown you the quality of the knives. Jump on the phone now if you want this. The price is on the screen. 0800 689 1679. I'll go on our website. We've got a few more demonstrations to show you. We've got about 3 minutes left. This is a fantastic knife set. But last but by no means least...
That was hard work, wasn't it?
That was, yeah, go on. We're going to say...
Last but no, you started me on it now. Right, we move that one out of the way just for a second. The last thing, there's your small knife, that's your paring knife. That's your utility knife, that's your bread knife, that's a carving knife and a chef's knife, that's your cleaver, right, which can be used as a chopping knife as well. That's your sharpening steel, we've done all them, and that's your peeler. The last thing of all, now this doesn't look very big, and as far as scissors go, it isn't very big, but it's got a heart of gold, and if you want to cut, and say you're decorating, and you want to cut, could you hold one end of that for me? Right. And you're cutting through a piece of wallpaper. Yes. Right?
Oh, yes.
That will enable you to cut easily.
Absolutely.
It'll cut small. And also, look, that's small. This is a little bit of cork. It'll cut through a piece of cork as easy as that, right? These are all jobs that you probably wouldn't want to do necessarily. If you want to open a package,
good scissors, really good scissors.
It's all right on cardboard. I mean, it is a small pair of scissors. I mean, it's too big to cut your toenails with, so don't start doing that with it. I did have a piece of twine down here somewhere, but I seem to have lost that. Oh, it's a piece of cushion flooring. Now, look.
Oh, yeah, you've got some here.
Right, we used to call this lino in the old days.
You did?
In the old days,
In the old days. What's the old days?
That was the time.
I've seen that bit
There was a bit of wrapping. Now, if you're going to cut cushion flooring, or if you do have, I mean, I suppose they still sell lino like we used to have. I mean, brilliant, cut through there easily. And if you suddenly get a delivery and you want to cut through a package, that's great.
Right.
Now that's your scissors. As I say, they're not the biggest scissors in the world. They've got a heart of gold. Personally, I think they're fabulous.
Yeah.
And really...
Now, let me tell you something, mate. I'm going to tell you something now. This is what... When Mick first came and he was going to do this demonstration, it was going to last 20 minutes. But let me just tell you, I'm so impressed with you, Mick. I know there's more you can tell us about this knife.
Oh, I could go on all day.
So should we go on for another 10 minutes? In fact, stay with us for another 10 minutes, and we're going to show you some more of this. Now, watch some of these some more of these demonstrations. Go on, Mick.
Right. Tin cans. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily want to do that. I just want to prove to you what a tough pair of scissors is. It is a very strong pair of scissors. And proof of the pudding's in the eating. Go through that. Cut through that, Mick.
Absolutely, and these are really nice scissors. And oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other great thing about these scissors, Mick, is that they're nice and light, aren't they?
They are light. They are light. Yeah.
For cutting small bones, things like that.
Yeah,
They've got a serrated edge on them as well. And what's this for? That bit there, is that for taking
if you've got a bottle of Schweppes tonic or something like that,
or any tonic, it doesn't have to be Schweppes.
Yeah, there are other available tonics out there. You just grip on that and pull it around, right?
Now, go on, Mick. What I want to see, Mick,
yes,
is I want to see you do that Coke can again with those scissors.
Right.
I can't believe that.
Get rid of that one. As I say, people are amazed about these scissors.
Can I also just say, folks, jump on the phone now if you want this set. The price is on the screen. You're not only getting the knives, you're also getting the steel as well. It comes with the peeler and also that fabulous stand as well. You can see that on the screen now. Look at that.
That's the greatest.
Absolutely,
it's marvellous.
Absolutely.
That's all really I can say about it.
Now,
yeah.
Nick.
Yes.
I've got to say, folks, jump on the phone now, make the call. But at the beginning, right at the beginning of the demonstration, Mick shown us the spiral slicer. And what we're going to do now is we're going to give you the spiral slicer absolutely free. So if you jump on the phone now, make the call. Not only will you get this fabulous knife set for the price you see on screen with the stand, and remember, you may have seen knives similar to this. You may have seen knives that look the same, but they added the same quality. This is why we've got this international knife expert to show you these knives, because Mick believes in these. I believe in these. Beautiful knives. They're all steel as well. Yeah. Fantastic. But we're also going to give you, this is your free gift. You're going to get this if you make the call now. So make that call 0800 689 1679. It's a brilliant product, a fantastic price, and you are going to get this.
Yep. I do apologise about the potatoes. I won't tell you which vegetable shop we got these from, but they're not the best potatoes in the world. But you wind it up like you wind up a clock. You go round and around and around. And as I say, if we had a cucumber here, I could show you on a cucumber. That's how we say it in Norfolk, by the way. Cucumber.
Cucumber.
Yeah, cucumber. We don't say cucumber, we say cucumber.
Stretch it out. I didn't know you were from Norfolk.
I'm a Norfolk boy, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Go on.
Wrap it around, pin the two ends together. If you can't do that, get a little cocktail stick, drop that in deep fry, deep fat, and there you go.
There you go. Now you're going to get the spiral slicer free. That's coming with the knife set as well. Just with the knife set, you've got the cleaver, you've got the chef's knife, you've got the bread knife, you've got the utility knife, you've got the paring knife. You've also got the peeler as well, the scissors and the sharpening steel, and it comes on a fantastic stand as well. It looks brilliant, Mick, doesn't it? Just show us the chicken again. Can you?
The chicken? What? The carving of it?
Yeah, just show me the carving on that.
I've sort of ruined it really by that cleaver. But
oh, you have? Look, he's ruined it. Look, he's ruined the chicken with the cleaver. But look at this carving on this. It's beautiful.
I mean, that is as a carving knife, and I have actually demonstrated knives costing a lot more than
now,
this.
I'm going to put you to the test now, mate.
Yeah.
Can you cut a tomato?
Can I? What with that one?
Yeah. I mean, can you cut a tomato?
That's your big one.
Look at
now,
this.
That's a test of a sharp knife.
Now,
if you've got a knife, and I'm going to do this on the back end, which is not sharp, if you've got a knife that's not sharp, you do that.
That's right.
The tomato splits all down your jumper and everywhere. If you want to use these knives, there's the big one. I mean, again, carving knife, cook's knife, vegetable, you know, call it what you like. But if I want to go down, even the very small one, obviously, the smaller the knife, the smaller your vegetables.
Right.
But that will go through there dead easy.
Okay, dead easy. That's
dead
a technical.
Easy.
Right.
That is very technical.
It is very technical. Here's a test for you. Right, here's a test for you, Mick. Right. Now, get that piece of wood.
Yeah.
That piece of wood there.
Yeah.
I want you to try and take. You're not going to ask you, don't you?
One more time.
You know, and then I'm going to say to you, go on. Then if this is so good, cut the tomato with it.
And then cut the paper. Cut the paper as well.
Watch this. Watch. This is how good this knife is. Watch this.
As I said before, if you watch the whole lot, if you have only just arrived, this is it. Watch. He loves me. He loves me. That is very.
Don't do this at home.
Very tough.
Do not do this at home.
No. That is about the strongest knife you've ever got. And I'm not suggesting that it will cut frozen food, but Hey,
Do you know for the price
give it a try? Give it a try. It might even cut for.
Do you know what, mate? Seriously, for the price you see the whole set on screen, I'd pay that for that knife alone.
Just
for
that knife
Look
alone.
at that. That's incredible.
I mean, I haven't. Now, Mike just said to me, if I bashed on a piece of wood,
can you cut the tomato?
will it cut through a tomato
Let's just move this
as
to one
easily
side.
as this? Well, there we go.
Oh,
I mean,
look at that.
what more do you want?
What more do you want? That is absolutely.
Well, I've just
brilliant.
shown you the best set of carving knives you can get on the market today.
Yeah.
It's called the Imperial Collection. Grab it.
It is a great price.
Grab it.
Now, folks, jump on the phone now if you want this set. You see the price on the screen. What you're getting is this particular set, which comes complete. Now,
It comes on a nice swivel, by the way.
That's right. And the other thing I like about these, Mick, is that they're all one piece.
Yeah.
They're all one piece.
No tang.
This is my favourite
rivets,
knife.
No
yeah.
rivets. If you've got rivets in, they can work their way loose. Oh, some people ask me about dishwashers.
Yeah.
Most knives of stainless steel are dishwasher safe.
Yeah.
But we do recommend that if you're going to use them in a dishwasher, you take them out before the drying cycle. Now that's the same with any knife, any cutlery set, whatever. But please remember, I haven't got a dishwasher here. I've just cut through chicken, I've cut through. All I do is I give them a little swish. You don't need a dishwasher. Save your dishwasher for your cups or your saucers and things like that.
That's great, isn't it? And that's if you haven't got a dishwasher there. And these are stainless steel. So
They are stainless steel.
As they say in German, it's rostfrei.
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 I used to say rostfrei, actually. I said it
Rostfrei,
wrong,
I think
did
it is,
I?
yeah. How about an orange? Just cut that orange for me.
Which knife would you like me to use on the orange?
Shall we just move this chicken out of the way?
I'll use the utility knife. There we are. Look. Do you want it just sliced?
I use that for everything, mate.
Yeah.
That knife there, I'm going to eat some chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, chicken's lovely.
Chicken a la orange.
Oh, yeah, very nice, yeah.
Yeah. Well, look. That is a knife and a half. Now, that obviously, with that being a slightly larger orange, I'm using a slightly larger knife.
Folks.
If it was a smaller orange, I'd use a smaller knife. But they all do the job equally as well.
Absolutely. The great thing about this knife set, folks, is not only does it look good, but it's also quality. The reason why we're demonstrating this to show you, it's not just to say, look, it's a great knife, it looks great. The idea is to show you the quality of this particular set of knives, because let's face it, you might go into a shop and see a set of knives. You can buy knives really cheap. But personally, when I see a knife set like this, and I see it working, and I see somebody using it, and I see the abuse that Mick's just given this knife set, then I think to myself, that's quality.
That's
quality. And for the price that you see on screen, it's really good quality. I mean, it's a great price. And the bread knife, I love that bread knife because it's great on soft bread as well.
Yeah, this is a tiger loaf. I'll not tell you where I got it from because that's advertising someone else's company.
Yeah.
Right, keep forgetting which one it is. There's your bread knife.
I'm going to eat some more chicken.
Good lad.
It's lovely chicken, this, mate.
There you go, son. Bit of chicken in between there.
I'm going to say I could make myself a sandwich, couldn't I?
He doesn't get paid much.
I don't. Like a doorway, that, isn't it? Right?
That actually is a builder's sandwich, that is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah, if I serve them like that at home, I'm in trouble.
Whatever you do, folks, don't miss out on this one. Jump on the phone now, make that call. 0800 689 1679. It is a brilliant product, this. It's a fantastic knife set, and it comes completely with everything that you've seen. The peeler there that Mick's using, and I love that peeler, Mick, because that peeler is actually, it's like you say, it's not going to cut you.
It's a speed peeler, and if you slip, you're safe.
Absolutely brilliant.
Don't worry.
So you've got the scissors, you've got the sharpening steel, you've got the chef's knife, you've got the cleaver, you've got the bread knife, you've got the utility knife, you've got the paring knife, and you've got the speed peeler as well. Mick is an international knife expert. He's worked knives for over 20 years, 30, longer than that, haven't you, Mick? 30 years, probably. Maybe even longer, maybe even 40 years.
54.
54 years, dear me. But that's a lot of years. So Mick does know about knives. That's why we brought him on here. That's why he's here to show you this knife set. And let me tell you something now. Before he came on, he got this knife set. He's took it home. He's tried it, and he says, "What do you say, Mick? It's not a bad set. This is it for the money."
I said to my wife, I said, and we have sets of knives at home, all different brands that I've sold all through my life.
Yep.
I said, that's one of the best sets I've ever got.
Yeah. For the money, it's great, isn't it? I mean, don't get me wrong.
I must admit, when Mike gave it to me, he didn't tell me how much it was. But
Yeah.
when I found out I was getting that quality for that price,
yeah. And listen, folks, if you like this set, jump on the phone now, make that call, 0800 689 1679. It is a brilliant set. It's a fantastic set. Now, whatever you do, If you want to try this, take it. And remember, you do get your guarantee with it, your money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, it is an absolutely fantastic set. Mick, that is, you've done an absolutely fantastic job. I've really enjoyed working with you. Thanks very much for coming in.
Can we do it again sometime?
We can, yeah. For an old man, you're all right, aren't you? We're two old men. The two of us together.
He's not as old as me, though.
Yeah. Say ta-ra.
There we are.
Jump on the phone now. Make that call.
Bye. Don't forget to buy him.